I wasn't supposed to be home that early. That was my first mistake. Fridays meant late nights at the office, wrapping up deadlines with my team before grabbing a beer with the guys. But that day I decided to surprise my wife. I even picked up her favorite takeout, spicy ramen from that overpriced spot downtown. The second mistake. Assuming she'd be happy to see me. I walked in through the front door, humming some tune stuck in my head, when I heard it. A deep chuckle. A man's voice. One that didn't belong to me. My gut twisted. My heart, that poor bastard, went free-falling off a cliff. The bedroom door was cracked open just enough for me to see her. My wife. In our bed. With him. And that's when my world shattered. Let's rewind. I'm Ethan, 34, a guy who thought he had life figured out. Married for 6 years, working a stable job, and dreaming of starting a family. I wasn't perfect, but damn it, I was loyal. I believed in love, in partnership, in all that through thick and thin nonsense. Jenna, my wife, was my high school sweetheart. The kind of woman who turned heads when she walked into a room. She had this effortless charm, a way of making you feel like you were the only person in the world. I thought I was the lucky one. But looking back, the signs were there. The late nights out. The sudden interest in self-care weekends. The way she started sleeping with her phone screen down. I just didn't want to see it. I should have walked away. Should have left before she saw me. But I didn't. Instead, I pushed the door open, and for the first time in my life, I saw Jenna without the rose-colored glasses. Her eyes widened. Ethan. The guy beside her, some gym rat-looking jerk, just stared, caught mid-act like a raccoon in a trash can. Silence stretched between us, thick and suffocating. Then Jenna had the audacity to scoff. What are you doing home? What am I? Something in me snapped. I let out a dry laugh, one that didn't even sound like me. I don't know, Jenna. Maybe because I live here. She scrambled for the sheets while the guy, Chad, Brad, whatever, just sat there looking as dumb as he probably was. This isn't what it looks like, she blurted. Classic. What a cliché. Bullsh**T. I dropped the takeout bag onto the floor, the smell of ramen suddenly making me sick. Oh, so you weren't just sleeping with him in our bed? She didn't answer, because there was no answer. Jenna finally sighed, rubbing her temples like I was the problem. Look, we need to talk. I turned around and walked out. I didn't trust myself to stay. The first few weeks were hell. I crashed at my best friend Mark's place, drank more than I should have, and ignored Jenna's texts, the desperate ones, then the angry ones, then the guilt-trippy ones. You need to eat something, Mark said one night, tossing a frozen pizza in my direction. I stared at it. Do broken hearts digest cheese? He rolled his eyes. Eat the damn pizza, Ethan. So I did. And little by little, I started putting myself back together. I got a lawyer. Turned out Jenna had been using our joint account for weekend getaways with Kyle. Classic. I filed for divorce. She begged. She cried. Said she'd made a mistake. I almost caved. Almost. But then I remembered the look on her face that night, the indifference. The fact that she wasn't sorry she did it. Only sorry she got caught. So I walked away. And for the first time in a long time, I started living for myself. I focused on work, hit the gym, and took up boxing, because punching things is surprisingly therapeutic. I reconnected with old friends, ones Jenna had subtly pushed out of my life. I started going on hikes, traveling, meeting new people. And then, somewhere between a solo trip to Italy and finally sleeping through the night without waking up angry, I realized something. I was free. Not just from Jenna, but from the version of myself that had settled for less than he deserved. Months later, Jenna reached out. Not to apologize, oh no. To ask for a second chance. I miss us, she said, her voice dripping with nostalgia. I almost laughed. You miss having someone who paid the bills, I corrected her. The silence was confirmation enough. Then came the cherry on top. Turns out Kyle had a habit of sleeping around. Jenna caught him with someone else. Poetic justice at its finest. I should have felt bad for her. Should have been the bigger person. But you know what I did instead? I smiled. And then, with the sweetest, pettiest satisfaction, I told her, good luck with that, Jenna, and hung up. Do I believe in love? Sure. Do I trust as easily as I once did? Hell no. But I'm happier now. Stronger. Smarter. And if life ever decides to throw another curveball my way, I'll be ready. Because I'm not the same guy who walked into that bedroom with his heart in his hands. No. That guy died the second I saw the truth. And the man who walked away? He's never looking back. You ever hear that saying, time heals all wounds? Yeah, that's bullsh*t, time doesn't heal. It just gives you space to figure out how to live with the scars. And believe me, I had plenty. After Jenna's pathetic attempt to crawl back into my life, I thought that was the end of it. That she'd disappear into whatever miserable existence she'd built for herself. But no. Jenna wasn't just a bad memory. I was about to find out she was an active problem. See, the universe has a twisted sense of humor. Just when I thought I was free, she found a way to drag me back into her mess. It was a Sunday morning. I was enjoying my coffee, flipping through some travel blogs, planning my next solo adventure. Life was finally feeling normal again. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I ignored it. It rang again. And again. I sighed and answered. Yeah. Ethan. I froze. That voice. Jenna. I should have hung up. Should have laughed and tossed my phone out the window. But curiosity got the better of me. What do you want? I asked, my tone ice cold. She sniffled. I need help. I almost choked on my coffee. Help? From me? Please, Ethan, she whispered. I don't have anyone else. That part, at least, I believed. She had burned every bridge, cut off anyone who didn't serve her, and now with nowhere left to turn, she was calling me. I should have said no. But against my better judgment, I asked, what happened? And that's when she dropped the bombshell. Turns out Kyle had run through all of Jenna's savings, and when she finally kicked him out, he didn't go quietly. He trashed her apartment, maxed out her credit cards, and left her with nothing but debt and regret. I'll be honest, hearing that almost made my day. So what do you expect me to do? I asked. She hesitated. I don't have anywhere to stay. I thought maybe. I cut her off with a laugh. Oh, hell no. Ethan, please. No, I repeated, sharper this time. You cheated on me. You humiliated me. And now, when life finally kicks you in the teeth, you think I'll swoop in and save you? That's not how this works, Jenna. I could hear her breathing, shaky and uneven. And for a split second, the old me, the guy who once loved her, felt bad. But then I remembered. I remembered walking in on her and Kyle. I remembered the way she looked at me like I was the inconvenience. So I let the silence stretch. Let her sit in the mess she created. Good luck, Jenna, I said, and hung up. That was the last time I ever heard her voice. Closure isn't some big, dramatic moment. It doesn't come wrapped in poetic justice or grand revenge plots. For me, it was that call. That desperate, broken version of Jenna begging for help, and me realizing I felt nothing for her anymore. Not love. Not hate. Just nothing. And that? That was freedom. I focused on myself, started a business, traveled, and went on dates, not looking for the one, just enjoying the moment. And one day, I met someone. No big fireworks. No dramatic love at first sight nonsense. Just a quiet, steady connection. Her name was Claire. She was funny, kind, and, most importantly, she had her *T together. For the first time in a long time, I felt like myself again. A year later, I ran into Mark at a bar. He smirked as he slid into the seat across from me. "You hear about Jenna?" I raised an eyebrow. "No, but I'm sure you're about to tell me." He chuckled. "She moved out of state. Heard she's working some dead-end job. Apparently Kyle did a number on her." I took a sip of my drink, feeling nothing but amusement. "Karma's efficient, huh?" Mark grinned. "You dodged a bullet, man." "Yeah, I did." And as I clinked my glass against his, I knew without a doubt that I'd never look back. Because my story didn't end with betrayal. It began with freedom.